you want to invoke fear and horror into your players' hearts as they crawl into your dungeon? Do you want them to feel weak and pathetic as they are crawling through and trying to fight the big bad? Do you want them to fear every single second that they are playing inside of your game? Well, if so, watch to the end of this video as I'll give you 4 different ways and steps in order to make your game more horrifying. Let's get into it. Welcome back, Storyteller. My name's Khalil Roberson, and I'm here to help you craft your first or your 100th story. Now, inside of this video, what I'm going to be explaining to you guys is the 4 various ways that I personally have been invoking fear and horror into my players' hearts? Yeah, hearts, I'll say, as we've been playing our Curse of Strahd game. The first way in which I invoke fear into my players' hearts is by using something called the Crunch Munch. Now, what exactly is this? If you play the Curse of Strahd game, you will be very familiar with this, in which basically what you do is you take a monster that is so utterly more powerful than your players that they have no chance in beating it at all. But the monster's main objective isn't to kill the players, but simply just to hit them really hard and make them realize their insignificance. So the reason why you know this a lot if you play the Curse of Strahd module as a DM is because something that I utilized was I allowed my players to fight Strahd at one point, and because they were all like 3rd level, they were just a cupcake walk and literally could not do anything in order to hurt Strahd. And because of that, it invoked fear in their hearts. And when he just said, I'll just walk away now as you're just a puny little plaything, it really does scare your players up like to the absolute most. And they just started quaking like, yo, what the hell? How are we ever going to beat this thing? The second way in order to scare your players is in order to implement something that I call the Overseer. Now, it doesn't really matter what kind of campaign you do this in. This is a tactic that doesn't require such bravado as the previous one, the Crunch Munch. Basically, all you do is, during the entire campaign and during the entire sessions until you want the horror to end, is you have someone watching in a far off distance, and just watching every single time. And that's all you explain to your players every single time. Yeah, you just see this person watching. Whenever they want to go up and interact with it, you just have it disappear. And then every single night, every single morning, every single day they're doing something, you just have this person watch them. And after a while, just start freaking out your players like, all right, I cannot stand this. And another thing that you can implement when you're doing the Overseer is have the person come progressively closer each and every night in order to really scare the hell out of your players, as they'll be like, yo, who is this person? Why are they watching us? Why are they constantly getting closer and closer? And are we going to have to fight them? This is the second way in order to implement the horror strategy. Now, let's move on to the third way. The third way in order to strike horror into your players' hearts is by creating very tense scenes. Now, this one I actually got an inspiration from the current Storyteller of the Week over here, and basically I put my players in a confrontation with Strahd. So before I even get into that, let me explain what a tense scene is. So this is a strategy that requires you to implement the Crunch Munch first, in which you have the really ridiculously powerful monster that doesn't want to kill your players, hit them a couple of times and show them its absolute power, then invite them into a roleplay session in which they're close enough that the party can fight them, but the party already knows that no, there's no way possible that we can win. And on top of that, you have them close enough that the opponent or the monster can actually kill them and ridiculously just destroy them. But you force them to implement a role-playing scene in which they're just forced to endure this monster and have to sort of appease it and are at its mercy. And these scenes are amazing, as your players will just be sitting there like, oh my god, is he gonna kill us, or she? Are they gonna like want to destroy us? Like, what exactly do they want? And then it invokes a certain mystery on why does this person want us to be so close to them? And for all of you storytellers out there that really like to do these huge expositions, so to speak, about, oh yeah, this is what the BBEG is like doing and all of his reasonings and whatnot, this is your perfect opportunity. Use these tense scenes in order to say, yeah, you cannot possibly ever win against this guy. So you gotta sit here, endure, and listen. And you can even get a huge brownie points to your players that actually want to learn a little bit more about the big bad evil guy by just simply asking him questions, or her, and then implementing and learning about more of his story in order to use that against him. Now let's move on to the fourth and final way. Alright, so the fourth and final way in order to strike terror into your players' hearts is by utilizing creepy scenery. Now, what do I mean by this? So, creepy scenery, the way I like to imagine it, has to implement 2 different things. One, it either has to have something life-threatening that the players have to go through that they just kind of have to let you control, and they just have to sit there in tenseness and be like, oh my god, are we gonna fall into the pile of lava as we're walking across this tightrope bridge? Oh my god, I hope we make it. Or having something that seems to be a threat, but is completely not posing a threat. For instance, having a bunch of bones scattered along the ground, you know, that stereotypical, oh, skeleton's gonna fight you. But don't have anything fight them. Just say, oh yeah, there's just bones everywhere. Or there are gargoyles that are just looking at you. And you can see their heads turn in order to see you. They're like, yup, let's fight these things. Let's fight these things. It's like, no, gargoyles don't want to fight you. There's nothing that wants to fight you. They just move and watch you and just stare at you and just want to know what's happening. Those are different ways you can do creepy scenarios or creepy scenery, I should say. Either have something that's life-threatening, threaten their lives as they have to go through the scenery and just control them along the way, or simply the second way in which you basically have something that would seem like a threat by current tropes not be a threat whatsoever. They just have to come to terms with, yeah, this thing's not going to threaten us. Let's just walk by it. All right, Storyteller, I'm so glad they made it to the end of the video. If you really like this video, please just give it a thumbs up down below. Just a little bit of finger strength, just a little bit. And if you really, really like my video, please feel free to subscribe to my channel as I post new content just like this one every single Saturday just for storytellers just like you. And if you really like to engage with the community of storytellers, I'll link in the description below my Discord, in which it's called Storytellers Paradise, where all just kind of just hang out and engage with each other and converse with each other. So please feel free to engage with us down there. I would like to just say a huge, huge thank you to all of my fellow storytellers in the Paradise who really just re-inspired me and gave me some pointers and tips on how I can better improve my channel just for all of you guys. So I would love to give a huge shout out to Jason, Mitch, and also there was one more. He's gonna be over here somewhere, but I just don't remember his name. But anyways, thank you to all three of you guys for giving me amazing pointers, and I will definitely be taking those and considering those just for you guys. Things to look forward in the coming future. One, I will be posting a lot less frequently, just one video a week in order to ensure the absolute best quality video content just for you guys. And on top of that, look at my Twitter a little bit heavier, as I'm going to be posting some interesting things called a play-by-post kind of dealio. But subscribe to my Twitter, or follow my Twitter, which is right here, in order to get into that and really be a part of that whole community as well. I would just like to say one last time, in a world without fantasy, sometimes you need a little Dungeons and Dragons.